Who's Iowa got today?
The powerful Northwestern Wildcats.
Ooh, that could be the catch me game.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched Kennedy Russell here at the U23s.
How'd he do?
Dominant. Tech fall this guy. He should be coming up.
Is he redshirt? Is he redshirt at Iowa, or did he leave Iowa? His name's not, when they put out the lineups, his name's not mentioned at all.
No. Didn't he already redshirt?
Well, can't you do it a couple times now because of COVID?
Yeah, I think that one's over.
I think once you're at 7 years, then you have to go. You have to ask for another 8th year.
Then you get that 8th.
Yeah.
Only if you're working on your doctorate.
Exactly.
Yeah, so McNames Wilson, you're watching the U23 World Championship?
Yeah, the U23 Worlds has been going on the last, 4 or 5 days. Was Greco started it, and actually the U.S. had a pretty decent showing in Greco. I think we had a couple guys bring home medals. They won more matches, and one guy won more matches than the whole U.S. Olympic team did. And then the women, actually, the girls, they won it as a team. They had a couple champs, and now the men's freestyle that's been going on. So it's been kind of mixed results for the U.S. team. It's always fun to watch, though, because there's guys on here that make the team that, kind of fly under the radar. They're not the big-name college guys. They got a couple, like Messenbrink's on this team, but there's some guys I've never – the heavyweight I've never heard of, and so kind of
isn't that kid from Cornell that transferred to Michigan, that Cardenas, isn't he on?
He's on the team. Yep, he made the final.
He's pretty good. Yeah,
I didn't know he transferred.
Yeah, it's at Michigan.
That's a good pickup for them.
No kidding.
Yeah, they lost.
He's kind of the in between. I don't think he's a true heavyweight, and I don't know. Is he a 90? Can he get to 97?
Yeah.
Is that where he's at?
Yeah.
If I remember right, I think that's who Guttridge wrestled in the Dream Team duels several years ago, and it didn't go well for him.
The young Guttridge?
The heavyweight that won
state.
state.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the starting heavyweight for him. It's awesome. I talked to his dad a couple of weeks ago. He was reffing a youth football game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks good. He's going to be a great Santa Claus this year. He's got an unbelievable gray beard.
I was going to say, I saw him this summer, and he looked like he was already getting training for it. Yeah. Aiden, I mean, it'd be cool to see him in the lineup. I know he's had some injury problems, and
he told his dad, or Jim Sr., or whatever, he told me that there's nobody challenging him. Yeah. He's like the heavyweight, yeah.
That's good.
Wonder why did somebody leave? I knew there was a couple good heavyweights down there, right?
Yeah, they had a couple, but maybe they graduated, or maybe somebody's redshirting.
Yeah. Well, I talked to his dad this summer, and last year Aiden was kind of slated to be the guy, and then maybe concussion or a shoulder or something. I thought
it's something to do with his leg or shoulder. I thought he had an injury.
Yeah, he got hurt pretty well.
Maybe he got what I got.
Yeah. I saw him this summer too. God, he's a.
Hey, Dan, you know what? I was talking to this guy, and he's saying, man, I'm just getting in really good wrestling shape. Once I get there, it's going to be really good for these young kids. Now, I'm going to, what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop by and give him a cane.
Yeah.
Just wait till he gets a little bit older.
Yeah, there's some,
you don't even have to wrestle to wake up sore.
Right. Like, what the hell did I do yesterday?
I'm not gonna lie, I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't. I must have slept wrong. My elbow hurt. Thought I was going to have to call in to not be able to golf today. But
so you're telling me I should just get used to this.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a couple bumps on the road always, and after you get through them, you're good to go. Well, either way, today, welcome back, guys. We're gonna have in a little bit, we're going to have Justin Barber, kids club coach from Belvidere, come on, chat a little bit about kids wrestling in Belvidere. But we got to start a little earlier for this and chat. So besides the U23 World Championships, Could you would you have any information on the start of the season? When does this wrestling season start for the high school guys, and how long does football season go? Do you know?
Football season goes all the way till Thanksgiving weekend if somebody makes the finals.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they have
Which
was
I don't think will happen. I don't think will happen in
no.
our conference.
Well, you know, Belvidere North, I think if they get a good draw, they could go pretty deep in the playoffs. They got a nice team. Had a nice win last night. So,
Yeah, what happened to Boylan, man? They fell apart.
Oh, yeah.
Guilford beat them. Guilford's that's the guy.
Guilford kind of took it to them. I mean,
Right.
they didn't beat them. They put it on them.
Because was Guilford 4-4? Now they're 5-4, or are they 6-3?
I think they were 4-4.
Okay. And Freeport made the playoffs too. And
Freeport made it. They got in. Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I think there's 6 teams from the conference that got into the playoffs. So
Is this a new thing that they know how that they're getting in the playoffs so early?
well, it used to be several years ago, 6-3 made you playoff eligible. And then it was all based off points, which is calculated by wins and losses of your opponents. But then it's probably been a while. 6 wins automatically got you in the playoffs when they expanded, I think, to the 8-class system. And now 5, you're playoff eligible now based on points. But most of the coaches know, hey, if we have 36 points, we're making the playoffs. So, 5 wins get you kind of in.
It'll be interesting. I mean, Hononegah could play Guilford or Harlem in the first round because I saw today they're all in 7A.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do they normally do that? Like, is that even a?
They have in the past. There's if there's another team in the conference they play just for travel stuff.
Yeah.
But last couple of years, Hononegah's played somebody from the Southwest area, down by the Quad Cities. But we'll see.
Yeah, they the same. The IHSA always thinks they're trying to do something bigger and better and make it easier for people. So it used to be they just seeded it 1 through whatever it is, 32, and 1 played 32 kind of, and now it's all geographic. So now you could play. Hononegah could have played Harlem last night and turned around and played them again next week.
Yeah.
So sometimes tweaking a system's not always the best thing. Leave it the way it is.
Well, so you're saying it could go all the way to November. That's interesting. That could affect some of the local practice schedules.
Yeah. Wrestling starts, I think, November 11th. Is that the Monday?
And college actually starts next week. Wrestling, like tournament.
Yeah, dual meets and stuff.
Yeah. I think Illinois is wrestling Edwardsville next week.
Do they wrestle anybody else with it, or just head?
I don't know if there's another teams with it. I just saw those 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, college wrestling's here. So high school football is going to linger for a little bit into high school wrestling season. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. That could be a short season for a lot of guys if their football teams are good. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's great.
Shorter season?
Oh, I mean, it's great for the guys. I mean, back in 1997, like when Brad Lynn and Kevin Sellover were all on the team, they went all the way to the semifinals in football. And I was shorthanded. I can't remember who we wrestled back in 97. I think it might have been a school. I think it's called Belvidere. The first duel. But I think with a bunch of kids missing, I think we still won. I can't remember correctly, but it was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
97?
Were you in high school yet, Dalton?
I was not.
He wasn't in high school. No.
I wasn't even in middle school yet.
That was like my first, or I think that was my second year there, was assistant under Gary. So
we had a few guys missing, but we still had a pretty good team.
Yeah. Well,
if my memory serves me correct, I think it does. So.
Probably does.
So you guys have anything else to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to tell this guy he can come on. And Marty, sorry to keep you waiting this morning, but
that's all right. You know what? It's probably never going to happen again, Dalton, because daylight savings time starts next week. So the sun will be up and it'll wake you up.
oh, well, the sun woke me up. That's what I saw, and I was like, oh, I saw the sun, and I was like, oh shit, I probably overslept here. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that was the cause of the oversleeping, though. The sun wasn't going to stop me only getting 3 hours at a time.
You better get some rehab on whatever that injury is.
Well,
ice it.
I did some rehab yesterday and the day before, and I think it just got worse. So I'm starting to think that I need to just not do anything today and kind of just hopefully the less movement, the better. McNames, I don't know if you're familiar with did some nerve gliding right? I think it's gliding, where you basically turn your arms out and you rotate and you turn your head. I think it's called gliding or sliding. But yeah, just hopefully it comes back quicker.
Maybe we should do an episode of injuries and how to take care of them and what kind of therapy you should do to try to get back.
What kind of therapy you got? What good advice do you have for me?
We got every ounce of therapy thing there is because of Marianne. She's been injured all year. we got the Theraguns. We got this hand massager. We got it all. We got these. What do you put the things on and it stimulates the
little
stuff.
TENS unit.
Yeah.
TENS unit. We got that. We got everything.
Well, I did all of those, and so far nothing.
You know, sometimes it just takes a little bit of time.
I was going to say whiskey always seems to help sometimes.
Oh, man, does it ever. It's one of the best things. Yep.
Yeah, but that's like whack-a-mole. You do that, and then you get another injury because you weren't paying attention to your body or something.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Marty, though. I think ultimately some injuries really just require time and patience, and it's really hard to have the patience to just not do something. So
right. When they linger, there's nothing worse.
No, and the worst is nerve injuries because those just seem to bother you forever, just sitting around.
Yeah. And that seems to be the one I got.
Looks like you're just going to have to put the whistle in your mouth. Point.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that, but I've had this before, especially when you start getting back to wrestling and you let people pull on your head too much. It flares up, but this has flared up a little longer than the past experiences. So,
I would say that I would come down and wrestle for you with those young kids, but I can't find my wrestling shoes. I don't know where they're at.
Yeah,
probably has an extra pair.
Yeah, I'm not going to look. I think there's cobwebs on them.
Yeah, and then soon you'll be in the same position I'm in. Then we won't. Then two of us will oversleep for the podcast.
I did oversleep until 6:15, not till 7.
Oh.
Oof.
Well.
All right, guys.
Yep, Marty.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. Yep. Welcome to the podcast, Justin.
How's it going?
It's going all right. We were just hanging out, chatting a little bit, and no complaints. McNames?
No. Had to wake Dalton up this morning to get up going here, but other than that, we're good to go.
Yeah. I happened to oversleep a little bit because I'm milking an injury, and I couldn't get very consistent sleep last night. Normally, I wake up pretty early by myself, but seeing how I didn't sleep consecutive hours, it was a little harder to pop up this morning.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah. But Justin, welcome. Maybe take a second just to introduce yourself to anybody who's listening.
Okay, name's Justin Barber. I'm the coach over at the Belvidere Bandits. I've been there for about 3 years now, doing some pretty good stuff there. I mean, we had open mat last night. Dan was there with his son. Had a couple kids getting ready for the Midwest Nationals that's going on today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, McNames was saying that, and he also said that you were a Winnebago graduate.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2003 from Winnebago under Matt Zickert. I think we were ranked top 10, but Byron was ranked top 5 and Oregon was top 6. So it was a difficult regional. Went on from there to wrestle at McMurray College under Jerry Kelly for 4 years. Had a couple guys. Justin Monroe went to Michigan State. Adam Kravitz went to Northern Illinois. Our girls program was really the biggest thing. We had Randy Miller, who was a bronze Olympic medalist, Mary Kelly, who was a silver world medalist, Amy Borgini, and Kat Zingo, who's I think Bellator champ right now. So we had a pretty decent program for that 4 years, and then my senior year they cut the program, and Jerry started ISI up in Elgin.
Oh,
Did they? Because I went to Illinois College.
Yeah.
Did they close McMurray? Is it still open or?
No, after COVID, McMurray closed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but I like just like Lincoln closed. A couple other of those D3 wrestling schools in Illinois closed as well too. COVID really hit hard those small ones.
Yeah.
So did you wrestle with Barkley or
Dan?
Dan?
Yep.
So he was one of my coaches at McMurray as well too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Tim Rinker.
I don't know.
No.
where is McMurray? It's down south.
Jacksonville, Illinois. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like 30 minutes west of Springfield.
Got it.
You passed the prison.
Yep. Says no hitchhikers.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Justin, maybe tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on. I know we've been talking about the season kind of getting started. We've been talking about, how we get kind of more football players into the kids club programs. But what are you guys doing? Preseason, when season start, that kind of stuff. I guess about Belvidere wrestling and youth.
Yeah, we'll start off from last year. Last year we had 75 kids, 15 girls, 15 state qualifiers from bantam all the way up to senior, 5 state placers, 1 state champ. I think we were looking at it last night at Durham Open Mat. I think we had about a 50% win. So we did like 646 wins and 620 losses. That was our second real year. First place bantam for regionals, girls. Second place bantam for boys. I think we lost to Hananiga for the boys. Senior girls, we got second. With senior boys, we got second. Sectionals, bantam girls, we got second. Bantam boys, we got third. And then senior girls, we got third. I think we did a really good year last year as a community club. That's one thing nowadays, you guys know, especially in the young kids club area, there's a lot of private clubs. But as us being a community club and mostly fostering Belvidere, I think we're doing pretty good at that point. Keeping costs down, letting as many kids wrestle as possible. I think right now we're at 85, 86 wrestlers that are registered.
That's what
for
I
the
thought.
season coming up. Yeah, and usually I think we'll probably be over 100 because once middle school starts, we usually grab some from Central and South as well too. But yeah, with football over with, we're starting to get some more of our bigger kids in there. I know most of them just finished, other than our high school kids, because I know North's got a game today or next week on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we also not just football, cross country. My kids run cross country, and I think half the team's on the wrestling team for the Tornadoes, which is kind of nice. And they're still running. And we, as a club, try to let our younger ones go out and explore other sports and, have fun. And then come the wrestling season, get down to it and wrestle 3-4 nights a week. So most of our coaching staff coaches other sports as well, too. So we always have people out there that we're looking for other wrestlers to grab. So
That's
I think
good.
we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot of potential for cross country runners. I've known a lot in the past that have come over. Plus, the one benefit for youth wrestling, I think, with the season is it's so long. It's obvious. I mean, it's longer than the high school season, and so even if you get kids past January, I know there's certain rules as far as the club stuff, but even if it's just coming to practice and learning wrestling for a few months, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, we have a tier system we're starting this year. We kind of talked to other clubs around the area to see what they were doing, and our tier system goes from just coming to wrestling practice and just having fun, not competing, all the way down to our state series. And you got to hit certain tournaments during the year to make it to the state. Mostly, usually after Martin Luther King holiday, we'll send an email out to parents like, hey, if your son or daughter looks like they're done, it's no problem. You can finish up the season now. And then we have the other kids that, like I said, they wrestle every weekend. They would rather wrestle than do anything else. So we kind of try to have that nice flexibility with the kids that are just there to have fun and learn about the sport, and the kids that are taking it to the next level.
So expand on your little tier system. Curious about it.
So our first tier would be, we call it like general wrestling. They just have their USA card, but they're not looking to do any tournaments during the year. Those are most of our like 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds.
And is this like a marketing component where you're telling people you can join general wrestling or you can go?
Yep.
Okay.
You can do general. You can jump from tier to tier to tier if you want to. So if you start off in the lowest and your son or daughter wants to start doing tournaments, we can move them up to the next tier. The second tier is usually like our first year, maybe upper elementary school kids, 9, 10, 11, first year. They get about 2 to 3 practices a week on just the basic skills. Next one's our intermediate group, and that's usually, those are our going for state. You're committed to going to states. You're going to wrestle regionals, sectionals, and then down in Peoria this year. They have certain tournaments they got to hit during the year, and then our advanced group. Our advanced group is usually like our kids that wrestle all year long. We work with Rochelle during the off season for Forge. We have a lot of kids go down there for freestyle and Greco with Nelson and Bruno, and then they'll go off to other clubs during the summer as well too. A couple Albert, ISI, and then we run open mat. And those are the kids that they're consistently running, at a elite level. So we go from everywhere from kids that are wrestling all over the nation to little brother Joey who wants to learn how to do a takedown. And I think right now we have about 20 coaches on staff, from elite Cal Fairies to just a regular dad that was a JV wrestler and wants to help out his son.
Great. So what was your guys' motivation for just separating the tier thing?
Our motivation was because we're getting big. And you
Yeah.
can't, Belvidere, North's room, we couldn't fit 80 kids in there. And then to have the different attention spans, the younger kids are not going to listen as much, but they're going to distract the older ones. That are not going to focus. We're really trying to have our room almost be like a classroom, especially with as many teachers as we have in there. Really focus on time on task, committed to that technique. The more we can get individual work with those kids, the better we can build them up than just have them run around with no structure at all. So almost every minute of our practice is structured out for time on task.
Good idea. Good. Yeah, you got to stay organized with who's at practice and stuff. When does season technically start for youth club?
November 1st. So Friday, right after Halloween. IK starts that season, and then it goes to, I think state this year is a little bit earlier. It's March 6th and 7th. I think 7th is Saturday. So that's about 2 weeks earlier than it usually is. They shortened the season by 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see, which is, I think it's kind of nice. It is a long season. It's longer than high school season, which is kind of crazy, but it goes kind of quick with those holiday breaks in there.
Yeah. Isn't the state series is kind of staggered with high school state series this year?
So sectionals. Yeah. So sectionals will be the same time as dual state or girl state. So as our region is our north region, we had to switch our sectional because usually Rochelle's at that dual team state. So now we're at East. So Byron will be regionals, and then Rockford East will be our sectionals this year.
Got it. Great, good to hear. So how's the success been with? Do you coach other sports as well?
I did flag football for a little bit, but I didn't want to. Mostly my daughter wrestles mostly the year, so we stay with wrestling. But then I have them, like I said, they do cross country and track, um, which is nice because it gets them away from me coaching and lets me sit back. Same with freestyle and Greco. I sit back and let Baker or Bruno or Millard coach my kids, which is nice so they see different outputs. But with where we're at with Belvidere right now, where most of our kids are wrestling all year, so even though when the season ends, we find a couple tournaments or get asked to be on a couple dual teams, and we keep open mats going. But I think that's the only thing I'm coaching right now. If I coached anything else, I don't think I have any time.
Do any of the other coaches coach like the youth junior tackle football?
Yeah. Cal coaches the Central Middle School 7th grade team. We've had I think Todd Weaver was one of our coaches at one of our flag football teams for the Y. And I think there's a couple other coaches that help out at Belvedere Junior Tackle. So
Good, yeah. So yeah, over 80 kids right now. Hopefully over 100. That would be pretty successful season to have 100 youth kids going at it. Do you? I know. Before I get to the high school, do you have much connection or involvement with the middle school programs as like whether the coaches are also involved with the club or anything like that?
yeah, Andy Taylor, Emily Taylor's dad, who's our only state champ last year at 121 in girls. He's the South Middle School head coach. We've been working with him. Bucci was our Central Middle School coach, and we worked with him. Right now it's Spencer. I don't know his last name. He's a younger guy, wrestled for Hononegah than Loris. He's our Central Middle School coach. But we were all in connection with each other because we're all doing for the same thing. The youth, the middle school is all for the high school. It's just to build the program up so we can have now two good middle school or high school teams going for IHSA.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you had much collaboration with the other high school? I know preseason. I don't know how many have come over that were because you are also helping coach the high school season this year, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to spearhead the girls program over at North. Maybe even co-op it with BHS. We have one right now, possibly a couple more coming out this year, and we have girl tournaments already set up for the season.
Okay, so you're kind of gonna go into that wing.
Yeah.
But have you had much success with? I know because last year was a co-op, so there was a lot of kids that were. I mean, maybe how many kids were from BHS that wrestled on the North High School co-op team?
I think we started the year off of like 60 kids, but as the high school season goes on, kids taper off for indoor track, starting baseball of that nature. I think they probably have. I think we had signed up last night or this week for our meeting about 50 kids, and I think BHS has probably got 20 to 30 kids. I've talked to Coach Donnelly. I've gone over to open mats. Dorian from Freeport is over there now as an assistant coach.
Duran
is over there.
Spence, yeah.
So I think
so Duran's doing some open mats over there, nicknames.
I believe he has. I don't know this fall what they've had going on because he was Sean's the head football coach, so he's been busy with that, and Duran was the girls flag football coach. So
I see.
Yeah, they were. We had some couple BHS guys that didn't play football come over to our open mats to work with us a little bit because like I said, we have an open door policy for our open mats. We're not, as long as you have your USA card, you can come wrestle. We're not worried if you're from Harlem or Albert or anything like that. We're just everybody's just trying to get better in the room.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's 30 kids for BHS. That could be pretty.
Yeah.
Positive.
I mean, I think Sean's optimistic about getting. They had a freshman football team for the first time in I don't know how many years, and I think he's pretty optimistic about recruiting those kids over to the wrestling program. So, I mean, numbers will go a long way to help build the program back up. So,
yeah, I think with us moving down to AA, I think Van Acker's got a good shot at making it to state, and I think Juan Cervantes has got a good shot. Even maybe Manny. You know, I think they're gonna have a decent team in the Double A area.
Well, what people have to realize is the Double A, that sectional, Sterling or wherever it is, Sycamore. This is
Tough.
It's a tough sectional
because I think Geneseo and Washington is in that sectional.
Yeah, and you get some outliers here and there. I mean, so it's you make it out of that sectional. It's
because East is in that too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that sectional is probably one of the harder. It's definitely one of the harder team sectionals, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Harvard's in that. I think isn't Harvard in that one as well too? Sectional.
Well, they go up and down from 1 to 2, so
That's true.
I don't know where they're at right now, but yeah, I mean, you get to Crystal Lakes. I mean, it's a juggernaut of a sectional. It's pretty tough. So
yeah,
I used to joke with people when they said, "Oh, you're going 3A. It's going to be tough for you." I was like, "Well, it's tough for us to get guys downstate in 2A, man. It's
yeah. Depending on where you're at, I mean, obviously, I think the general understanding is the potential state tournament changes a little bit, but not too much as of late. There's good guys in every class right now. So, but yeah, without getting into class systems in general, yeah, that's good. Dan, you got any questions for Justin? I think we heard a lot from him about Belvidere wrestling. You got anything else?
not offhand. I was just waiting to hear those Q words you were working on there.
I didn't get as many. I didn't say committed as much.
I heard the commitment though.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, I got my son.
I stole time on task from Cal because he says that a lot in the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got my little guy into wrestling late last year. I think it was after the first of the year. He finally decided he wanted to try it, and it was an awesome experience. I think you guys do a great job, and he's more interested in. We coached his youth baseball team through BYB, and we snagged a couple kids off our team to come try wrestling now that thought they were basketball players, but I think we convinced them that they're going to be wrestlers. So, and the one came last night and absolutely loved it. So what they're doing is awesome because they're having fun with the kids. And right now, at least, it changes once you get towards that end of the year and you get the most serious kids. But even the older kids that are in there, the more experienced kids do well with first year wrestlers helping them learn. So it's been a great experience. It's fun.
Yeah, we're having a good retain rate. I think we only lost a couple kids because of graduation, and then a couple kids just from they didn't like it. But we're retaining most of our kids, which is our biggest goal is when these kids get to high school, practices are easier. We're not going over as much basic stuff, and we're getting into what we need to do to beat those teams at the IHSA level.
Yeah, I like the idea of that tier system because not every kid needs to go every weekend to wrestle.
No,
or wrestle at all. They're not comfortable with it once you throw them out there and they get beat. No one wants to watch little kids walking off the mat crying and hating it.
Yeah, and it's like I said, most of our tournaments we try to stay in about a 30-minute radius. So like Stillman, Oregon, Byron. We'll go out to the burbs a little bit. John Davis is nice because we get to see those kids from Southern Illinois that we don't get to see all year long. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. We got kids that are just coming on just to have fun to the serious kids that are trying to win state titles. So I think we've got a good mix of a population of beginners to advanced kids.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on. Good luck with the season, the start of the season. Maybe throughout the season, we'll get you to pop on and chat about the results, what's going on, especially high school as well. Seeing how you're kind of in the mix of everything. And yeah, Dan, any other thoughts?
Not right offhand.
Justin?
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.